Welcome to the High Level Wife Podcast. This is a space for Christian wives who love God, want their marriage healed, and are done performing, fixing, striving, or trying to control their way to change. Here we're going to talk about marriage God's way through right order, surrender, heart posture, and spirit-led transformation. This is not self-help, it's discipleship. My name is Chelsey Holm, and my role is to help you move from awareness into obedience so real healing, wholeness, and restoration can take root. Let's begin.
Welcome back to the High Level Wife Podcast. I'm your host, Chelsey Holm. We do marriage God's way here. And today we're talking about something that apparently struck a nerve because I made a reel just yesterday or 2 days ago. Yesterday was when I posted. And it simply said, heavy on the I actually like my spouse kind of marriage. And thousands upon thousands of people resonated. Why? I think the last I checked, it had 120 some thousand views and it was shared and reposted. And so I was like, okay, why? Right? Because I think a lot of couples quietly wonder, are we actually supposed to enjoy this? Because somewhere along the way, many marriages become schedules, logistics, kids, bills, chores, problems to solve. And then, before you realize it, you're no longer best friends, you're coworkers. And so I want to ask you something that it's uncomfortable, but we need to ask the uncomfortable questions and actually sit in them. We're not asking the question of, do you love your spouse? Because I know you do. You know that you love your spouse and you know your spouse loves you, but we're asking the question, do you enjoy them? Do you laugh? Do you look forward to them coming home? Do you seek connection with them? Do you miss them when they're gone? And do you want to tell them things? Like when you learn something new or you're really excited about something or something's really hard, are they the first person that comes to your mind? Because love and liking are not identical, obviously. You can love someone, you can love them deeply while simultaneously feeling resentful, deeply disconnected, very frustrated, and completely exhausted. But this is where so many couples settle and they think that, well, at least we're still together, right? But surviving marriage was never the goal. And so if we go back to the beginning, this is where we get God's way for marriage because it was established in Genesis 2 that God creates relationship, companionship, partnership, oneness, right? And he said, what God has joined, let no man separate. Marriage was not created simply for bills or parenting or tax benefits or managing life. Hi, honey. Welcome home. I'm recording a podcast, which you're on in the background. Hello. I thought I heard your car pull up, huh? Okay, I'm almost done. But yeah, it wasn't designed for all of these things of managing life. It was designed for connection and friendship and intimacy and mission. Like, why was woman created? Woman was created because Adam had just finished naming all of these animals, and he saw that these animals, they had someone, but he didn't, and he was sad in that. And God made woman out of man. So couples don't stop liking each other overnight, right? It usually happens through the unspoken resentment or the constant stress, or simply having no margin. How much margin do you have in your life? If there's no margin, that's a problem. Whether that's margin in time, finances, energy, all of it. Lack of friendship, overfunctioning, emotional distance, living in survival mode. Ladies, I am talking to you. High functioning anxiety, anyone? Checklists for miles. Yeah, I know that's where I was too. But this is where it gets hard because many women are asking, why don't I like my husband anymore? But sometimes there's always a better question to ask, right? Like if you ask a question, a lot of times we're not asking the right question. We have to ask a different question. And in this situation, the better question is, when did I stop creating space for friendship? Because when everything becomes kids first or work or stress or tasks, what happens is your marriage gets the leftovers. This can be with anything, right? Look at tithing. Tithing is supposed to be off the top, right? We give God our first fruits. He gets the best of our flock, the cream of the crop, right? But unfortunately, if you're tithing and God's getting the leftovers, there's never going to be anything left. Well, the same is true in marriage because friendship requires intention. Nobody accidentally stays close. Think about your best friend in high school. If you're close with that girl today, if you're close with that woman today, it's because you have intentionally stayed connected. Nobody accidentally remains playful or accidentally keeps dating. You build it. So you need to ask yourself, when was the last time you laughed together, or you did something stupid together, or you talked without solving problems, or touched without expectation? You simply enjoyed being near each other. Now, listen, there are seasons, there are hard seasons, there's trauma, there's grief, there's parenting, right? And just when you think you got it figured out, something changes. I've been there and still there. There's health issues, exhaustion, and it's not just try harder. But the truth is that if you give up in the hard seasons, you are going to miss the bounty of the coming seasons. And this happens to so many couples that throw in the towel. But here's the bigger truth that if you ignore friendship long enough, eventually the connection starves. And here's the reframe that we're that you know, I this is my heart. This is my heart in alignment with Father's heart of how he designed marriage and why we talk about marriage God's way here. Is I want marriages that are heavy on I actually like my spouse, which means they're heavy on friendship, playfulness, safety, laughter, connection. Right? Like that's God's design. That's the intimacy that he designed first and foremost to have with him, right? Going back to the beginning of this episode, I was talking about how, work first, kids first, stress first, all of those things. Well, those are not coming from a right order. God is first. God gives us the ability when we abide in him, he abides in us. So how do we become more like Jesus? We study him. We spend time with him. We draw near to him. We abide. So why do couples assume that we've been married for 15 years? I already know them. No, people change. And wise spouses keep learning each other and studying each other. So here's your challenge. Ask yourself this question. What would someone watching my marriage assume about how much I enjoy my spouse? And then ask yourself this question. What is one small thing I can do this week to build friendship again? You don't accidentally build. You don't accidentally build this I actually like my spouse kind of marriage. You intentionally create it, right? You don't accidentally get fit. You don't accidentally eat healthy. You don't accidentally spend time with the Lord. These things are all intentionally created through discipline, through commitment, right? And marriage is a covenant relationship. And if you're a Christian wife who wants to create that kind of marriage, it's not through control. And you don't want that. You don't want to create it through control, anyways. You're going to do it through surrender, alignment, and right order. I just want to remind you that you are in the right place. And if you want to go deeper, join High Level Life. We're doing this every single day in the trenches of the frustrations of marriage, but doing it God's way. And there's so much joy in the surrender, truly. Once you are able to have that heart posture that enables God to do what only God can do, it changes everything, my friend. I will see you on the next episode.
If this episode stirred something in you, but high level wife feels like too big of a step right now, I want you to hear this clearly. You don't have to jump ahead to honor what God is doing. I created a short guided experience called From Awareness to Surrender for women who aren't ready for ongoing support but know they can't stay where they are. It includes 3 short teachings, a guided exercise, and a prayer I recorded over you. It's going to help you move from awareness into real response. You'll find the link in the show notes. And if you're not ready even for that, don't rush past this moment. Sit with God and ask him what obedience looks like next.